Welcome to Brobench release recap. In this video, we're going to talk about Brobench version 4.7 release, codenamed Hydra. So a little bit about the codename itself. Codename is named after one of the Pluto's 5 moons, and it was discovered very recently in 2005. And the Pluto has a lot of moons, and as with every other moon on the Pluto, none of them are spherical. So this too is not a non-spherical moon. So this particular photo was taken recently by New Horizon spacecraft that actually flew past the Pluto system, and it took a lot of good pictures of the Pluto and all of its moons, and this is one of them. Okay, so that is about the code name. So we have a lot of good and exciting features in this particular release, and let's go and take a look. Okay. First up, we have an object on the field axis. Okay. So we have introduced object on the field tab in the Object Explorer. You can go here, and then it shows all the object access for that particular object across various access entities. Access entities either pump set group, pump set, or a profile, one of those. And then for that particular access entity, it shows what access that one has on this object. There are some controls here, which you can filter, or you can filter by particular access, and also you can show only the profiles or pump sets, so on and so forth. So you can export all of this data as with, you can right click and say export into the grid. So next up, and that's similar to that, we have a field access. It shows all the fields of that particular object and the corresponding the access. So here, so it shows the two levels, edit or read. So if it is edit, obviously user would have a read access as well. Otherwise, if user has just the read access, and that's what it shows here. Okay, so as with the other object access, you can filter some of these details, and then you can do that. So that is object on the field access here. So next step, we have a page layout fields. So it is critical that when you have a lot of fields and a lot of objects, it is difficult to understand which field is shown on which page layout. And so it's hard to visualize all of that. So you can, with this particular layout, you can see all the fields that you have and the corresponding layout that there is. So you can easily visualize all of that. Of course, you can filter and show me only where the edit access is granted or the mode of it. So this is about the layout field. So go check out the full video to understand what all the things you can do with it. Next step, we have a page layout assignments. So this particular feature gives you the visualization of in the matrix format, so the profile on the rows, and then page layout on the columns. So it just shows you for that particular combination what layout has been assigned. And of course, it also allows you to highlight a particular one. For example, let's say if you unused one much or not much used, so you can see where all that particular layout is used. Okay. Next step, we have a Apex Looper. So Apex Looper is a capability where you can, let's say you have use cases where you want to take advantage of different transactions to execute a particular script in loop, or you want to delay running a particular script. For example, let's say you're trying to clean up in a production, whatever. In that, Apex Looper can be very helpful. So you can just select a text and go to execute with Apex Looper. Specify all your properties. It allows you to run a fixed loop count as well as by the input, which includes specifying the socle query, so which runs the query and then uses that data to run the loops, and as well as the delay in between them. So it's pretty powerful feature. So go check out the full documentation to understand what it does. Okay. Next step, Apex multiple tabs. So far Apex had a default single tab, but based on the feature request that we have enhanced to include additional tabs. So similarly with a query, it works in the same way. For example, let's go back to Apex. You can create additional tabs like that. Let's say new Apex editor. Okay. Okay, I should have renamed that. Let's call it as a release. Okay, so you can use this tab next time when you come back. So you can use this, to compartmentalize your script. Let's say you work with the different clients or maybe different environments or different features. So you can group them into different things. So okay, so that is a multiple tabs. Next step, so we have quick search. So Brobench has had a feature called a quick search. So it indexes, all the shortcuts which are managed over here, all the shortcuts. So it actually shows in an easily accessible format within this particular page, so that you can easily navigate to the setup screens and including some of the metadata. So for example, you can access that from the keyboard shortcut, Command B in Mac, or a Control B in Windows, or you can also click on this search icon in this particular the app layout. So when you click here, you can search for various things and then you can navigate to them. So in this case, let's say I have shown all of that and I can click on it, it will navigate to this particular page. Okay, so this has been there. So in this version, we are indexing Apex classes, triggers, VF pages as part of this metadata indexing, and also we optimized a little bit so that it loads faster and other enhancements. Okay, so go check out this. This is included in the free version, but the metadata indexing is included in Essential and above. Next step, we are enhancing the child records. So in the last version, we introduced a feature where you can go to the child records tab and shows all the child records for this particular parent record that you are seeing. So without having to go look up in different places and all that, it shows all the ones. In this version, we are doing a couple of enhancements. So we have added this collapse and expand icon, so you can easily collapse all of them and see. Or you can filter for a particular the field. You can just filter by the child field. And as well as you can right click on them. Let's say, so far, if you want to see more details of this record, you would have to click on it. That opens in a separate tab, but you can click on this view child records. It opens a pop-up with the circle grid with all the details shown. So you have full access to the grid here, including editing, searching, filter columns and all that. So if you want to see more details of the record that you are seeing, this can be the easy way to do that. Also keep in mind that it is possible to add this particular field as a dedicated tab on itself. Go check out the custom tabs functionality so that you don't have to come here to see the cases. For example, you can directly see them as an additional tab here. Okay, so that is about a child records enhancement. Next step, we have a custom main tab layout. So as you can see, we have had these tabs, this particular layout for the tabs, so login, objects, records, search, and query. But we understand different people prioritize different modules. So to facilitate that, we have provided capability to customize the tabs. You can go here and then you can specify what tab layout that you want and whether the tab is closable or not. And then once you save it, and then when you reload it, that particular tab layout is shown. For example, in this case, remember we have a API Explorer, which is not shown by default. And so you can customize to your heart's content which tab or which modules are shown in which order. So next step, we have a header banner. Okay, so in Sandbox, you have this particular banner. However, that banner is not shown for the production environments or the dev orgs. So in this case, I have a dev org, but let's say this is the default state. So if I go back here and there is no banner, so sometimes, people want to know that, hey, they're in production and all that. So we have had the header banner functionality to show all along, but we are enhancing a couple of features in this release. One is that we are adding a text so that you can customize what text shows up as part of the banner, as well as we have a Tangy feature here called animate. So if you click on the animate and the blink, and you won't believe what happens. So it loads the banner and it keeps blinking. There is no way you're going to miss this particular notification saying that this is the production. I wouldn't recommend this if you use production all the time, but for the folks who don't deal with the production that often but spend a lot of time in the sandboxes, once in a while you go to production, this can be a game changer for you, right? Because it automatically highlights. There's no way you can miss that you are in a production or a controlled environment for that matter. Okay, so that is header banner enhancement in version 4.7. Next step, so we have some minor enhancements regarding the copying the data. So there was a request wherein that, for example, let's say you go to an account and they want to copy IDs that shows here. So before that, they can click on it. They can't click on it because that will click on it, that will open a pop-up, or it'll open that particular record. There was a request to be able to copy the data. So now we have provided a small copy button, so you can hover over. It's shown in various places, not all the places. So wherever it is shown, you can hover over. If you click on it, the data is copied to the clipboard. Okay, and the same thing works in the IDs that's shown in the grid as well. For example, in this case, we have an ID, and then you can click on it, and the data is copied. Okay. So this is all the features that we have in this particular release of Brobench. So I hope you connect with one of these features, and I hope it enhances your Salesforce interaction. Thank you very much.